You ever notice how some of the wealthiest people on the planet dress in, the most boring clothes? But then you see others who spend a fortune just to be covered head to toe in brand names. It's this weird paradox that we see every single day, and I'm telling you, it is not an accident. There's a hidden system at play here, and it's designed to profit from our own insecurities.
Okay, so let's just break this down. On the left, you've got the classic billionaire uniform, right? A simple, probably very high-quality sweater, some generic jeans. You can't see a single logo. Honestly, they could be anybody. Now, look at the right. This is the influencer look. A t-shirt that's basically screaming the brand's game and a belt buckle you could spot from a mile away. These are two completely different ways of thinking about clothes and money.
So this massive difference brings up a really fundamental question. If you've got all the money in the world, why would you hide it? And on the flip side, if you don't have it, why would you spend what little you do have just pretending? I mean, it seems totally backward. But as we're about to find out, there's a very powerful and very profitable logic behind it all.
And the answer? Well, it's a concept that we're going to call the logo tax. And you have to understand, this is a financial trap. It's a rigged game where you are paying a huge premium, not for quality, but literally for the privilege of being a walking advertisement for a giant corporation. It's a system designed to make you feel rich while actually helping to keep you poor.
So how does this logo tax actually work? To really get how the trap is set, we've got to look at the psychology that makes us all so vulnerable to it in the first place. Why do we as human beings have this deep, deep need to show off?
Well, it really all boils down to something called signaling theory. Think about it. For thousands of years, signaling our status was a literal survival mechanism. It helped us find partners. It helped us gain allies. Back then, the signal might have been, being the best hunter in the tribe. Fast forward to today, and for a lot of people, that signal is just about buying symbols that shout, "Hey, look at me, I'm successful."
But here is where it gets really interesting. Not all signals are created equal. This slide perfectly shows the two different languages of wealth. On one side, you've got quiet luxury. Think of it like a secret handshake for the insiders. It signals through these subtle cues, the perfect fabric, the impeccable cut of a jacket. Then you have loud luxury. That's not a whisper, it's a broadcast to the masses, using logos that absolutely anyone can recognize.
And this is the absolute crucial point about loud luxury. When you wear a giant, obvious logo, you're basically making an admission. You're saying, my value isn't inside of me, it's borrowed from this brand. You are effectively renting your status and outsourcing your own self-worth to a corporation.
And then you get to the very highest level of this status game, counter-signaling. This is what the billionaires do. Zuckerberg's plain hoodie, Bill Gates' super cheap watch, Steve Jobs' turtleneck. It is the ultimate power move. What it says is, my success is so overwhelming, so undeniable, that I don't even need to participate in your status game. My bank account does all the talking for me.
Okay, so now that we get the psychology behind it all, let's pull back the curtain and look at how luxury brands have basically weaponized it. This is their playbook. This is how the game is rigged against you.
This quote, which reportedly comes from a luxury brand insider, just cuts right to the bone. That big, visible logo, it's not a badge of honor. It's your uniform. You have paid them for the privilege of becoming an unpaid walking billboard for their company.
So what's the actual price of wearing that uniform? Let's get into the math. This number, 4,900%, that represents the typical markup on what they call an entry-level luxury item, like a logo t-shirt. It's staggering. Let's break down exactly what that means. So let's really break it down. Look at this table. That $500 t-shirt you see everywhere, it costs the brand maybe $10 to make. The other $490, that's not for better cotton or incredible craftsmanship. Nope, that is the brand premium. It is the price you pay for the logo itself. And you have to understand, the brands know exactly what they're selling you. It's not a product that's meant to last forever. It's a feeling. It's a temporary shield against feeling insecure. And because the trends change every single season, it's not a one-time purchase. It becomes a subscription for your ego, one that needs to be renewed over and over just to stay relevant.
So let's talk about the real cost, the actual damage, because this goes so far beyond just overpaying for a piece of clothing. Paying the logo tax has a truly devastating long-term impact on your finances. This is the fundamental trade-off, right here. Every single dollar you spend on a status symbol,
which is a depreciating liability, is a dollar that you cannot invest in an appreciating asset. You're actively choosing to look rich today instead of having the chance to actually be rich tomorrow. I mean, this chart shows the absolutely brutal opportunity cost of that one choice. That $500 shirt, in a few years, it's worth basically nothing. But that same $500, if you just put it in a simple S&P 500 index fund, could grow to $5,000 or more over 30 years, all thanks to compound growth. One path leads to a worthless rag in your closet. The other path leads to real, actual capital.
And when you multiply that single choice by a whole lifetime of making similar choices, well, the effect is just staggering. It's not just about your own financial health anymore. It's about preventing the accumulation of capital that could provide real security for your family, for generations.
Okay, so the game is rigged. We get it. But here is the good news. You do not have to play. You can opt out. So here's a clear, simple exit strategy to stop paying the logo tax and start building real wealth instead. It all boils down to 3 really simple rules. First, adopt the 10-foot rule. It's easy. If you can identify the brand from 10 feet away, it's a no. Just don't buy it. Second, prioritize buying assets over accessories. Make a rule for yourself. Only buy luxury items with the passive income from your investments. And finally, the most important step of all, audit your own insecurity. You have to ask yourself, who am I really trying to impress with this stuff?
In this right here, this is the entire mindset shift. True status isn't about what you wear on your back. It's about what you own. It's about owning your time, owning your finances, owning your future. The real flex is financial independence, because that gives you the freedom to be completely 100% unconcerned with the opinions of total strangers. And that's really what this all boils down to. Every single time you get dressed in the morning, every time you make a purchase, you're making a choice. So you have to ask yourself, are you building your own equity or are you paying to build someone else's? Are you the owner or are you the billboard?